Alright, in lesson 9 what we're going to learn how to use is the trim command, and ultimately our goal is to be able to cut out the wall, to place the window, and to place the door. So what we're going to do is we're going to break this lesson into two parts. The first is we'll just go on the overview of how to do the trim command, and that's what this lesson is. In Lab 9 Part 2 we'll actually show you how to work on the wall. So what I want to do is make sure that you set up AutoCAD so that it has architectural units. The limits are 40-30, the grid is at 6 inches, the snap is at 6 inches. And this time we're going to use OSNAP. So we want to make sure that the OSNAP is on and that we're locking onto the endpoints. So we'll get started with that part first. So let's come over here. We're just going to type OSNAP into the command line. And what we do is we're going to turn Object Snap on. If you notice down in the lower right, the OSNAP is grayed. If I click it, it will go on when we're done. But I want to make sure that you have the endpoint and the midpoint and the center right now locked on. So we're going to click on those, hit OK, and now we can see that it turned on down here. I can turn it off by clicking on it, or I can click again and now it's on. I'm also going to turn my snapping on. So snap to grid. So what we'll do is, the first thing I do is want to draw a line. So I'm going to have you draw a line, just lock on anywhere. And what we're going to do is draw a line across, and hit the return, and draw another line. So we're going to end up having two lines that look like that. Okay. And let's say that we want to get rid of this part of the line. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the trim command. And the first thing it asks is to select the object. And the first object you select is the knife. Think of this as a knife when we do a trim. I'm going to click on the knife. I hit enter to say I'm done selecting the knife. And now what I'm going to do is click on the part that I want to make go away. So I'm going to make the right side of this line go away. I click it and I hit enter and I'm done. All right. We could also do something with two lines. Let's just say that I have, I'm going to take another line now and I'm just going to draw it across here and hit enter. And I'm going to draw a second line right down here. Okay. So let's say that I want to get rid of this part of the line, just between the two vertical lines. I can use my trim command to do that as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on trim. All right. Again, we're going to select the knife first. In this case I have two knives, the left one and the right one. Now that I'm done, I hit enter, and it's going to ask me for the part I want to get rid of. In this case here, I'm going to get rid of the middle part, and you can see that I'm left with the two lines without the middle. Okay. So once you're comfortable with that, we'll move on to using it for circles. So I'm just going to come in here and let me hit the eraser to delete that. And what I want to do is I'm going to come in, and let's say that I have a 90-degree angle like that. So just go in and draw a line, two vertical lines, and now I'm going to draw a horizontal and a vertical line. And once you have that, we're going to draw a circle. This time I should be able to lock onto the end of it. Right? And what I want to do is just go in, and it doesn't matter what your radius is as long as it's smaller than my two lines. So what I actually want to do now is I want to get rid of this part, or I want to keep this part of my circle. I want to get rid of the section in coordinates from 0 up to 270 degrees. So I'm going to click on my trim command. Again, we're going to select the knives. In this case, I'm going to use the two perpendicular lines as my knives. I hit the enter command, and now I'm going to go in and I'm going to click that section, and so what's left is this part. Now if we were doing a door, for example, what I might want to do is trim off the two lines. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my trim command. My knife is going to become the arc. I hit enter, and now I want to get rid of this piece and that piece. Okay. Finally, for the door that we're going to do, we'll do one thing. We'll actually change the width of the line. So in here, let's say I have this line here. It's if we look at line type, oops, not line type, but line weight. Okay. What I can do is I can come down and let's specify 0.3 millimeters. And so you can see that that just got bigger. The last thing we'll do for the door is actually to erase the opening, and that would be how we would end up with the door, starting with 2 perpendicular lines and a circle. So with that, we're ready to move on to learning how to do the door and the window.